we live in a community or in the world where we are under the governments. You are three powerful women in your own areas. What do you think the governments should do so that the 11% we have today will become 50% at some point, that we have women in the platform of leadership, equal wages, women pronounced, given opportunities, given more loans or equal loans as men? What should be the position of the government? Yes, do you want to start, Heidi?
I cannot suggest something concrete to do the governments. I think they are busy right now with other things. But what we can do in our everyday lives is how we grow our kids. What kind of stories we tell to our boys and to our girls. And that's how it starts. Because government cannot tell you how you treat your girl or how you treat your boy at home. And I don't think government can really say that 50% women. And also what we can do as already professionals, we have to build bridges, not live in our bubbles. Because right now, so many people live in their small bubbles and they create more bubbles in order, instead of creating bridges. And the same with women. I'm not in a supervisory board of one biggest insurance company because I'm the smartest one. No, I'm not. I'm because somebody knew me who said that I could be a suitable candidate, because somebody knew what I can do. It's not enough that you know what you can do. You have to let other people know what you can do, and then the network can help you. So we have to find women, we have to find first of all, we have to deliver, and we have to find the right people who can help us forward. And it's not that government will tell us that in this insurance company or in that chemical company should be so many women. We have to be ready and we have to be visible.
Yes, but there are still regulations, and someone is kind of creating those. But that's very good point in the sense that it should always start from a person to fight.
That there are any regulations. Yes, maybe in Finland the only regulation I could say what should be changed quickly is that employers should not have any expenses when women are giving labor, because that will limit the entrepreneurs. If you have women candidate in her 30s and you have a male candidate and you're a small business, you think that, okay, if this woman will be pregnant after 1 or 2 years, I have to pay a lot of money for that. So I will choose the male candidate. And that's a big issue in Finland at the moment. And it's not solved, even I know they have been talking about years. And it's still so.
I see.
One thing to do.
I think that governments actually can do a lot. I think one of the things that really upsets me is when anything is decided on a gender basis. There should be nothing decided on a gender basis. When it comes to parental support, when you have a newborn, it should be equal. Let the couple decide whether it's the mum or the dad or how they split the parental leave. That should be the amount that's given to the couple, or allocated, should I even say, to the child, because it could be a grandparent takes some of the parental leave. I think government can do a lot to eliminate this. There should be absolutely no excuse for women and men doing the same job being paid differently. There is absolutely no reason for that. So governments are in control of that. There is a lack of females going into the STEM courses, you know, the science, technology, maths and engineering. there is a lack of that. But if you certainly look into the States and the UK, it's because often the schools that are gender-based then have certain subjects allocated to the genders. When I went to school, I went to a mixed school in my first, up to the age of 12. The boys learned to sew alongside the girls. We all learned to do woodwork. But then at 12 years old, we went into separate schools, boys and girls separately. The boys had a fantastic science department and the girls had a fantastic home economy department. That is totally gender-based and gender-biased. And that should not be the case. So there's actually a lot the government can do. They do encourage people to apply for jobs. They do say you should try and get a gender balance in your board of management or your senior staff. That's good in theory, but going back to what Ida says, you choose the best person for the job. Again, gender shouldn't come into it, but I have to say that most of our economic professors that have applied to our business school, the men have been better qualified to deliver than the women have. They all get a chance to guest lecture, and the students actually grade them on their lecturing. But the male participants usually do much better than the females. But government can do a lot. And actually, definitely, that there should be no gender discrimination.
I think it's also self-done, the discrimination. We don't even realize, but maybe we women are a little bit shy to ask for help from men, or we have some kind of interiorized competition with them, when instead it should not be us against you, but should be a general cooperation among us. If we really want to do the difference, we need the men, or let's say the gender, the typical person that the people would consider the middle-aged white man. But yeah, so it should be a cooperation between the two main genders if we really want to raise. And for what regards the government, I think that what really the government should do is to try to find solutions together with the actual people, like to really go on the streets to listen to what people really have need on. Of course, the researchers are important. Of course, the academic specialists are important, but they should really listen what the everyday people listen, what in Italy we call the cafeteria talks, basically what the people talk among themselves during the day, because it's the true. Like, I mean, what you speak about your own struggles, you speak it with your friends, you speak it with your colleagues, and that's where you actually hear pieces of everyday life that have to be changed. And not necessarily the government, but for example, governmental news, let's say the official national news, and the municipalities, they should really give more visibility to minority women. We are not talking only about the native women, but also the minority women of the other communities, or international women, or openly like women from other minority communities, and not always the same people, because I have the feeling that always the same people are called as example, while one person cannot represent everybody of own minority. Imagine on every minority. It's important. There should be more diversity or representation. So at least for me, I think the government, this is what should do. Listen more what the everyday talks are about, and to give more visibility to the women in the minorities.